Welcome to When I'm Feeling Love with Hip Hop. I'm your show host, Israel Picasso. We tuning live from St. Louis, Missouri. Today's guest is, can you tell the crowd who you are and where you from?
Legendary Kokane, aka the most featured artist on the planet, hailing from
Yes, sir.
Pomona, California.
Okay. Now you was born in the Bronx, New York, and then you moved to California, right?
Right. I was born in Bronx. My father and my mother was in the music industry. They was doing some work out there, and I didn't stay too long on the East Coast. Moved right away to the West Coast. You know what I mean?
Okay. Now your father is Jerry B. Long Sr., right?
Yeah, Jerry B. Long Sr., the prolific writer, composer, producer, arranger for Motown Records.
Right. He wrote
That's
that
my
record
father.
that Just My Imagination. Yeah.
Just a slew of hits from Motown, Just My Imagination, Supreme, Four Tops, Marvin Gaye.
Well,
Anybody that was over there, he was the guy that was orchestrating the
he was
whole.
writing for Marvin Gaye.
Hey, he did a lot of things. That's the great Jerry Long. Without Jerry Long, wouldn't be no Motown sound.
Oh man, that's dope, man. And how was that for you, man, being the son of him, man? Like growing up being the son of him.
Well, I didn't understand, you know what I mean? Because back in the Motown days, it was kind of ran, by mob and different other things. A lot of people didn't, got their credit but didn't get the chips. And it just so happened we was the sacrificial lambs for them. So I had to grow as great as the royalty I come from. I had to grow up in that suppression called ghettos. You know what I mean? But when I was a little kid, I used to, go into sessions with my father, and the running board would look like a spaceship. You know what I mean? So I was always intrigued, as a star child, to peep what's going on. But it didn't really hit me who my dad was until I was like 12 years old. And then I
Okay.
start understanding, the gifts that I inherited was from him. You feel me?
Okay. So like you said you grew up in the ghetto and shit, right?
Yeah, I didn't stay with my pops because things I can't explain. I got to
Right,
plead
right.
the fifth, but it's very serious. So for my safety, I had to live with my grandparents in Pomona, California. Miss Yamini Salim and Abdul Salim. You know what I mean? And they was like the first family out here to get celebrated in California, being Muslim. And because they used to be at the mosque with and different other temples with Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, that. So
Uh,
back in the days, I used to go to Muslim school. We used to be under Warf D. Muhammad, which is Elijah Muhammad's son. So,
okay.
that was my whole surroundings. Because moms and pops was, in the business and some other alternative motives was happening. Things that I got to plead the fifth, but you're gonna hear it in my book because it's public. It's out to the public now. So,
Right,
but
right, right.
they had to live with my grandparents, man.
So how did
So
that
my
affect your
grandparents
spirit?
raised me.
How did that affect your spirit though, growing up in the ghetto and shit though?
Ah, it was cool. It's perfect. You know what I mean? Because when you speak the indigenous language of the hood, you know what I mean? It's able to translate more to the people. And that's what I've always been, a people person. Despite of me coming from that legendary royalty line of music, I still, suffered through the suppression like anybody from banging to hustling, to whatever comes in that ghetto. You feel me?
No, that's real. That's real.
So it had a big impact on my music. And when a lot of people hear my music, they say, man, you can actually make people cry, and then you can talk that shit raw and uncut the indigenous language of the hood.
Yeah,
And
talk
I'm
that
glad I
gangster
got the
shit.
best of both. Yeah, I'm glad I got the best of both worlds because you got to remember, even the prophet Isa, which they call him Jesus, you know, he came to stir up some shit. Excuse my language. Man,
No, you good.
he was for the people. You know what I mean? Even Prophet Muhammad was for the people. So I've always been a people person instead of the industry. no matter if I've been on multi-million records sold and been doing 34 years in the game with 4,000, over 4,000 features. So, I've never took a break. I've always been doing stuff every year. There's been highs and lows in the music industry like any other business you in.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Mm-hmm.
inshallah, my ability to stay here is the reason why I'm still here. You know what I mean? Because I've always hustled with a motive. I got a beautiful wife. For 34 years, we've been married and we've been with each other for like 38
Congratulations to
years,
you,
ever since
man. For real.
1984. Yeah, so we got 8 children. And I got 8 children by that one woman. A
That's
lot
a
of people say,
win,
you got
man.
illegitimate? Nah.
You
So
know,
that
the
grounded
most
me through the whole process.
right, man. And it's a blessing when you able to, be fruitful and multiply, man.
Absolutely, inshallah.
Yeah. So like okay, we gonna fast forward to when did you fall in love with hip hop?
Man, I fell in love with hip hop in the early '70s.
Okay.
Seeing Cool Herc, Grandmaster Flash, Furious Five. So, I was already in the mix, and it was a blessing to be able to be born from the Mecca. Hello?
Yeah.
This often caused by.
You said what?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Nah,
You
let's
good?
go over the question because you cut out again, brother.
Okay, now I said when did you
Huh?
fall in love with hip hop? Yeah, hello?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, now I said when did you fall in love with hip hop?
It's breaking up.
I don't know why you got to it's probably because you moved yeah, just stand still like that. When did you fall in love with hip hop?
Oh, that was a long time ago, man. That was around, I would say, in my early teens, in the '70s, definitely in the '70s, when hip hop was just now being visible. You know what I mean? So it's around the '70s. I've been in love with hip hop, man.
Okay. So 1989 you signed with Ruthless Records. How did you meet Eazy?
Well, it was still my cousin, Cole 187, who has a group called Bubble Law, one of the most prolific groups in the game, not just on the West Coast. You know, um, and a cat by the name of Larry Goodman, Laylaw, rest in peace, he just passed. He was like a significant member of NWA. You would always see him. He was like the enforcer. So once I did a 3-song demo, they shot the kite to Eazy-E, and it didn't take long for me to get signed because Eazy felt I would compliment the controversy because Kokane is the most controversial name in the game. But he
Mm-hmm.
liked the whole concept that when you hear cocaine, it's like you on cocaine because you never know where the funk is coming. You
And
know
that's
what I mean?
weird.
So that's how I got signed in 1989. I also, was blessed enough to go to the NWA, only NWA tour overseas it ever was. Gave me that opportunity of a lifetime. You know what I mean?
Man, that's dope.
1989.
That's dope. Now, speaking of Code 187, man, he gave you your yeah, hello? Yeah, I'm here. Big homie.
You breaking up, champ?
Yeah. You gotta stand still. You gotta stand still. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I am standing there.
Yeah. I said speaking of Code 187, can you hear me?
I can't hear you, bro.
You can't hear me at all?
Hello?
Yeah. Hello? Oh gee, you can't hear me? Hello? Oh gee.
Hmm?
Yeah, you can hear me?
I can hear you now. Hello? 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 Reception over here is terrible. Bro.
You good? Yeah,
Yeah, you hear me?
yeah, y'all can hear you. Yeah. Now the question
I
was, you can hear me?
this
Huh? We good?
is crazy, man.
Oh, gee. Yeah, yo. Oh, gee. You good? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. All right, let's get back to it. Now, speaking,
All right.
yeah, all right. Speaking to Code 187, he gave you your rap name, correct?
Yeah, cocaine, because he felt like, hey, it's gonna complement the controversy from NWA, and he felt like, man, your shit is so dope. They need to call you cocaine. So I got blessed enough to be serenaded by my cousin in 1989.
Okay, okay. So that's safe to say like Above the Law was like your inspiration to the music industry, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? Without above the law, a lot of things wouldn't happen. You wouldn't have heard the G funk, the word G funk, balling, chronic, all that shit came from Marcan. Those words.
Yeah. Okay.
Feel me?
Appetite for Destruction, man. How did it feel creating music for the biggest rap group to live, so to say?
Oh, it was a blessing. It was an honor. You know what I mean? Easy pulled me to the side and said, because I was at the studio when they created Appetite of Destruction at the studio called Audio Achievements in Torrance, California. And once they shot the record, um, it was easy. You know, I said, I want to write a 10 Gangster Commandments for Eazy. And he just loved it. You know, Cash Me Out. I wrote the song. Dre, Yella, Ran, Easy, loved the song. So he put it on there. Plus, it allowed me to introduce a character called Sweet Talk, who you heard later years on the east side of records, Snoop Dogg records. But on Niggas for
Yeah.
Life, I'm on the intro along with the late great KMG from Above the Law in Code 187. And I do
Yeah,
the
I heard
intro
you on
just as
there.
well as co-writing. Yeah, just as co-writing it. That was actually my first platinum record is the Niggas for Life in 91 because at the same time I came out with a single called Nickel Slick Nigga and I was supposed to come out with an album called Who Am I, but the FCC laws wouldn't permit them to say cocaine on the radio. And at that time, Ruthless Records had a distribution deal with Epic Records. So, you know, they changed my name to Who Am I in
Wow.
1991. And, you know, that kind of shut the doors in my face. But it's something diamonds are not made by feathers, they're made by pressure.
Right.
But it allowed me to approach those challenges with my chin up, my chest out. And Dr. Dre, um, Easy E felt that hey man, cocaine is so different, man. Let's put him on the Niggas for Life album and fuck the radio, you know, because it was behind me full percent. Easy E was hot because you know Epic Records was supposed to say cocaine, but then they changed the name. So those doors being shut in my face is a significant factor why I kept going because of something
Right.
people doubt you or shut the doors.
Some
Either you
doors closed, other doors open for you.
yeah, so it was good because they invited me on that Niggas for Life, and that was my first experience of being platinum and receiving platinum status in the record. So it was beautiful, man. You know, that was the start of me really um, mashing on the feature game because people think I sound like George Clinton, people think I sound like Rick James, Curtis Mayfield, just as well as being an
Mhm.
MC. So
Right.
they was like, nah, this nigga cocaine is cocaine because it's like you own cocaine when you hear cocaine's music.
No, that's real. And you said something about 1991. So addictive hip hop music. What was your mindset like coming after Easy E and NWA and becoming a solo artist?
Well, I was mostly bussing. You know what I mean? Because I love rap and I love singing too. So I was mostly bussing, and it was more hip hop inclined on the Who Am I until we really had a paradigm shift on the 1993-94 release of Funk Upon a Rhyme. That's
Mm,
totally different sonically, all that shit from the first project Who Am I in 1991. Because a lot of people don't know Kokane had a record in 1991. You feel me?
yeah,
And that was a
yeah.
Ruthless Records epic release. But it didn't work out. And Easy took his business over to Relativity with Alan Grunblatt. And that's when he first discovered Bone. It was who was on that label? Bone, Common Sense was first being heard, Fat Joe, the Beat Nuts, Above the Law, because we released Uncle Sam's Curse and Funk Upon a Rhyme, along with Easy E's Dr. Dre 187 Killer.
Mm,
Yeah, so that album really morphed into like who I am today, as far as people considering me like this dude sound like George Clinton in Parliament. You know what I
right,
mean? So
right.
1994 was a very important record because also it was the Death Row and Ruthless beef, and they was coming at us and we was coming at them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So you was all in. You was in the middle of that with the whole thing, like because you end up working with Snoop afterwards. How was that like, man? End up working with Snoop after you was beefing with Death Row and shit at the time with Easy didn't fuck with Snoop, but he was dissing Snoop.
Well, people don't understand that Snoop Dogg, Nate Dogg, was in audition in front of Above the Law and Cocaine. We had a studio on La Cienega at Centinela, and Warren G. Prior to that, a year before 1990, Warren G. actually used to stay with Code 187 in Colton, California, along with me, along with the fellas of Mount Vernon and Colton, California. I remember it like it's yesterday. And he was
Mm,
always talking about, man, I got this dude Snoop Slim. I want to bring to the table. Wait till my homeboy get out the armed service, which was Nathaniel, Nate Dogg. And I remember at the end of 1990, they came to audition for us. Wasn't no such thing as Death Row at that time. Suge was my bodyguard. I used to do business with him and Ron Brown from the Rams. When no Death Row even in the picture, it was all Ruthless.
mm,
So Snoop knew where the funk came from, especially G Funk, because they built their whole career off what we created above the law and cocaine. So after, going back into the future, after, uh, us knowing that the Death Row and beef was over, we decided to squash the funk. And he sent the kite to a mutual friend of ours named Half Dead. And then I answered it. We squashed the funk. And the first song we did on a new group he was putting together was with Trey D and Goldie Loke. Now they were from two different hoods, Insane and the Dubs, and they were beefing in
right,
Long
right.
Beach. But by them putting that together, along with a cat named Cocaine from Pomona, it created the East Siders. You feel me?
Man, that's dope,
So that's
man.
how we linked it in because he already knew. He was at the same time when I was in the game. Snoop Dogg was a big fan of Cocaine and Above the Law.
Mm, man, that's crazy. Okay, so we got Nickel Slick Nigga hits the charts and becomes the soundtrack for Deep Cover. How do you feel, man, at that time, man? Do you feel like you following in the footsteps of your father?
Well, of course. I mean, you can see everything that I told you. It was like it was some gangster shit for me to be on all death row and sound type of soundtrack. But I was a ruthless artist, and I have that. And there was a cat by the name of John Payne, who's a significant part of Ruthless Death Row Records, and just Dick Griffey. Rest in peace, Dick Griffey. Um, we were able to get that record on there. You feel me? And a lot of people don't know that was the same record that introduced Snoop Dogg.
Mm.
You know what I mean? With one Nate
Yep.
Seven on the Undercover Cobb,
You
but
sure
I was
right.
actually on
Yep.
that.
You right.
Yeah, I was actually on that project as well.
Damn. That's crazy, man. So
It's a lot of shit I could tell. It's a lot of shit I could tell you, but we'd be here for a week trying to explain everything. I'm just
right.
giving you little powerful bullet points as we
Yeah.
skim through this conversation.
No, 100. So okay. When Funk Upon a Rhyme released, you changed your whole style of sound, rapping and singing combined. What gave you that thought to collide the two worlds together?
I've been doing that since '83.
Okay.
I've been singing and rapping since 1983.
Yeah.
Before you Drake's was in his daddy. Before Drake and all them was in his daddy's balls. I was
Yeah.
doing my thing. You understand me?
100. Okay. So the sound you and the Bud the Law created known as G Funk had the impact on many generations. What it feel like to you, man, that you basically you touched the masses, man, with a sound that came from your heart, your thoughts and shit, man. Like your energy, man. You impacted the world.
Man, it feel good, man, how the universe uses you art. Some people reference the universe as God. It's
Hmm.
amazing because at the end of the day, as artists, all we here to do is to inspire the next generation. It's tribal. And it's amazing with all these features I've done to still carry mystique and mystery, but be able to be an inspiration for just all kind of young artists in the world. You know what I mean? That's a beautiful thing. You know, that's humbling with all humility to be able to inspire those to not give up. You know, when people look at the cocaine story, and a lot of times the common conversation is like, man, you stayed consistent. You
Hmm.
stayed in the rhythm. And if anything you want in life, you have to stay consistent, which is another word for rhythm. You know what I mean? To actually manifest things in this hologram on a quantum level.
Mm. Man, you
You
just
feel
dropped
me?
some knowledge, man.
So certain experiences I had to go through. Hello?
Yeah, I'm hurt. I can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm
Certain
hurt.
things I had to go through for inshallah, you know, for me to be the pillar that I am today and inspiring kids all over the world to when you look at the cocaine story, you're gonna be inspired never to give up.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, how was it for you after Easy E's passing, man? How did his death affect you?
Well, it affected everybody. When Easy passed, all the assets got froze up. Uh, um, I had to just go around studios, and 9 times out of 10, when I went to studios, whether it's Too Short or E40, motherfuckers be like, "I love your style, cocaine. Put that shit on there." So it kind of created a safe haven for me doing features, you know, from independent cats to A-list artists all over the world. But yeah, when Easy E died, that was a sad moment in hip hop and in our lives. I remember for the funny story, like not a funny story, but a serious story. The little homegirl that's married to Will Fresh Prince, Will Smith, is Jada Pickett. That's my little homegirl, her and Regina King. And we were
Straight
at the
up.
House of Blues. It was me, yeah, it was me, Easy E, Jada Pickett, because she was going to do the video for Above the Law called California. And Easy was coughing and shit. Like, it was like, what's wrong? But the thing that I got out of Easy, he said to me, keep going, man. You're going to do good. And he was talking like it was, he knew he was going to go. And it was like, why you sound like that, man? You all right? Just take some cold medicine. But then, unfortunately, 2 weeks later, he didn't want us to worry so much. Easy was a G, man. He was just like, fuck it. This my life. This my life. I don't want to worry y'all. Y'all keep doing what y'all think. You know what I mean? And we just kept going. And, you know, when he died, I knew why I made a song called No Pain, No Gain. That was off the Funk Upon a Rhyme album. They actually played that song at his funeral and so many funerals. And that was a song that was a precursor to him passing and transcending. And you know, Easy was just incredible individual, man. He never As big as he was, he never made you feel like he was $2. He made you feel like he was 100. You feel me? And it was
Bro.
sad because it's a trip. When Easy passed, that was crazy. And then Pac got out the next year, and Pac's my little bro. Pac was with Above the Law. He always used to come down here and see Above the Law and Kokane and
Straight up.
and Easy E. Because actually Pac before Warren G, big ups to Warren G because he helped take G Funk across the world. Before anybody said G Funk, Pac was
Yeah.
the first one to say G Funk on a cut called Call It What You Want off Above the Law's Black Mafia Life. And that was
Damn.
our style of music called G Funk.
Man.
So when Easy E passed 95, I was the last one of the last songs I did with Tupac was called Fortune and Fame. Me, Spice One, and the Outlaws. So I tell
What?
you
You
that
was on
story.
Fort.
Then
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
the original is Fortune and Fame. And I tell you something, I ain't seen Pac since
Damn.
1992 and 91 because we used to do shows. You can look up right now and say, Cocaine Tupac 187 doing shows.
Right.
And he was doing movies and all that. But when he got out of jail, we rolling down Sunset. We just got through doing this song with me, Ant Banks, Spice One, at Ice T's house on Sunset Plaza up in the hills.
Mm.
So we riding down the street, and I see this peanut head in the back of a Rolls Royce convertible. We pulled to the side. I was like, "What's up, my nigga?" He said, "Cocaine, nigga, I've been looking for you." Because me and Pac had a special relationship to where he would always be influenced by the shit that we put out. I had songs before
Yeah.
called "Sometimes I Feel Like My Day Is Coming." That time, them type of songs and influence that make me feel like, hey man, this is it. So he was always inspired by us, man, and we were
Yeah.
inspired by him. So once we did that song, he said, "I'm gonna go to New York," and then Mike Tyson got a fight come up. I want you and Spice One to come with me. But at that time, I left Ruthless Records because the Easy E died, and me and MC Yella in 1996 had a project called One More Nigga to Go. This is for the E, in remembrance of our homeboy Eric Wright, Easy E. And then at the same time, going back to Tupac was like, "Man, I'm going out here." He went to New York, and then he went to Vegas. He's like, "Where you niggas at?" You and Spice One. But I couldn't go because I had to work my record with DJ Yella. One more nigga to go. Easy E, this for the E. And at the same time, I had a cut called For Riders Only on a record label called Scotty Brothers. You
Okay.
feel me? But
Yeah.
then, boom, I heard what happened, and B Legit called me at the office, and the office was in Santa Monica. That's where the most of the office is, Century City and Santa Monica, California. So B Legit on the phone from the click. He said, "Man, Pac is gone." I was
Damn,
like, thought
man.
he was playing. But then I turned on the news, and just an automatic crocodile tear came down because we were just with him at the movie shooting downtown LA with him and Jim Belushi. You feel me?
Damn.
And it's just like, wow, this nigga is gone, and here I
I'm
am.
here.
I already got the effects of Easy E dying, and then my homeboy Tupac died. We supposed to do this One Nation with each other, and it really put me in a paradox, so to speak.
Man,
You know what I
that's
mean?
crazy,
So
man.
a lot of times, man, to kill the pain, yeah. But that happened, and then moving
Yeah.
back up to 1999, like I said, me and Snoop squashed the funk, and we did our damn thing with the East Siders and everything else that had something to do with Doghouse.
Yeah. Okay. That's what's up, man. So
Yeah.
let me ask you, did Dr. Dre and Easy E ever squash their beef, man, before he passed away?
It wasn't a beef like you said. It was Suge spreading poison at that time,
Yeah.
and it was Suge and Jerry Heller that was the villain of this whole death row, ruthless beef. To tell you the truth,
Mm, damn, that's crazy. So, what was it like, in the
Yeah.
studio
But
sessions?
I went through all those revelations.
Yeah. Now, what I was gonna say is, what was it like in the studio sessions with Dr. Dre on that 2001 album?
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. But we were equally yoked because I seen Dre
Yeah.
make those records in '89. And, long before Snoop and all them, above law and cocaine, we was the original ruthless.
Mm,
You know, so it was amazing. He very amazing too. You feel me? That a lot of people don't get credited for.
yeah.
But it was amazing, man. Dre is a phenomenal mixer, DJ. How he puts shit together is just phenomenal.
Man.
So, when I came in there and did LA niggas, that wasn't written down. And Dre know how I get down. Dre the type of person to make you do vocals over 1,000 times. He from the old school.
Yeah.
I went in there one time and did LA niggas. In LA, hey, da 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 da. One take and Dre said, boom, that's it. You're a genius, come out. I ain't never
Mm,
worked with nobody that did one take except for Pop.
mm. Now, I got a question from a fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being that you work with Snoop Dogg, right? And you work with Tupac. Have you ever worked with Puffy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a song called I'm Lonely on Puffy's album right now featuring Kokane. It's called The Saga Continues album. That went platinum.
Oh wow. Did not know that, man.
I mean, we recorded that album in Florida at his
Okay.
estate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he showed me a good time. I don't know what everybody else talking about. I don't go extra, but he showed me a good time on some player
Yeah.
shit.
Right. Okay. Okay. We moving on to the next question. Buddy Boy Entertainment. How did you start that?
Well, my name is Jerry Buddy Long. My father is Jerry Buddy Long Sr. from Motown. So
Right.
it makes sense for me to use Buddy. And that's a friendly related name, Buddy Boy. You know what I mean? So my government name is Jerry Buddy Long Jr.
Okay. Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
So that's why I use Buddy Boy. And it's a family oriented business. My wife is the vice president. My son is the co-executive. Because I done been through all kind of hula hoops and record labels, and nothing like having your own independent autonomy to where you can control everything. Because that's what it's about at the end of the day. You want to have ownership. Because a lot of people are just waking up and wising up to the fuckery of the major labels that they play. So a lot of people will be like, man, Cocaine, if you wouldn't sign a $20 million deal from this or that, I'm like, hell no, because that's basically telling me I can get to 100 million independently. You know
Right.
what I mean? So the only time I do business with major labels is if I'm licensing out a particular song or album, so that way I can control more of my creativity. And this with Prince, all these people, Michael Jackson, sacrificed their life. So big ups to them for us to be able to have an independent without the majors fucking us so much because they done bought all the equity from the streaming companies. And people are wising up and creating their own digital platforms and saying, fuck all that now. We control the creativity. Rightfully so.
No, that's real, man. That's real. So, what's new in 2023 for Cocaine, man? What new projects you working on?
Hello?
Yeah, what's new for Cocaine in 2023? What new projects you working on? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
I hear you now.
Yeah, I said
I hear you.
what's new in 2023 for Cocaine, man? What new projects you working on?
Damn, this Wi-Fi is fucked up.
Now
Hello?
you good, OG? Yeah, I'm heard.
I can hear you.
Yeah, hello.
I hear you.
Yeah, okay. I said, what's new in 2023 for cocaine, man?
What's a lot of good stuff, man. Me and Sugar Free finally put a project together after 25 years called Sugar Cane. That's doing good. That's available on hard copies at www.sugarcane. It's spelled SUGAKANE official.com. That's www.sugarcaneofficial.com. You can pick up the hard copies, man. It's going crazy. And I also got a project classic release called The White Album that came from the Cocaine Vault, which is features Sugar Free, Snoop Dogg, Goldie Low, the usual suspects. And I'm working on a project called Dr. Kokenstein, prepping for that. That's coming out next year. And that project is totally on some Parliament Funkadelic live instrumentation. Y'all gonna love that. I'm even dressing up with the nostalgia. Doing it's a mirror of Funkadelic in Parliament. Because a
Yeah.
lot of people compare me to that, and we finna give them the business. And plus, I run a label. Like I said, me and my wife is going on 15 years. We've been scaling up every year, and we're in a good position to put out other artists and give streaming to other artists as well. So we became corporate, and we putting out other artists. A Chicano artist named Hectic from Orange County. He's from Anaheim, actually. And my daughter be coming out with a project called Young Colombiana. She like daddy, like daughter, best of both worlds. She sang and she busts. And
Oh
her name
man,
is
that's
Elisa
what's
C.
up.
Long. Yeah, she got some shit. If y'all go up on my YouTube or go up on my Instagram at KOKANE_OG. That's cocaine underscore OG. That way you can check my daughter out, check the whole crew out, and everybody else know what I do, man. I'm the hook master. There's no one on more features as a recording artist than Mr. Jerry Buddy Long Sr. So if anybody needs to get at me, man, I'll get you right, man. I can fix your funk when the shit is on the flat. Holla
Uh,
at the last of a dying breed. This is
man,
cocaine.
but for sure, for sure. Now, I got like one or two more questions, then we can get out of here, man. Do you feel hip hop is dead or alive?
It's alive, live more than ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And Nas had a good point when he said hip hop is dead because it became dead for a little bit. All this old same frequency and retarded shit, game goofy ass shit, that had to go ahead and do what it needs to do. But the timing is everything because it's in concordance with people getting tired of hearing just bullshit all the time. You got to have real talent. See, we come from the era like Apollo. If you couldn't
yeah,
sing, we throw rotten tomatoes at your ass. But it became lollipop after for a second, and you know what I mean? People are getting back
hmm
to that real music of substance, storytelling, something that can inspire us. So I'm glad because the capacity and room for everybody to do their things, even if you do mumble rap or whatever, it's a lot of room for us to share in this space of music. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So I don't always diss somebody because that's what they know how to do. I just try to wait for a season for the right reasons to interject and tell these young cats, man, this is how it is. And we can't we you got to move with the seasons. You know what I mean? And it's the season right
Nah,
now
that's
for
real.
cocaine to really push this funk to the limits. You
Yes,
feel me?
sir. Yes, sir. All right. What do you feel about Snoop Dogg gaining Death Row Records?
What?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Nah, I couldn't hear you. What you say?
I said, what do you feel about Snoop Dogg gaining Death Row
Huh?
Records? Yeah, I said, what do you feel about Snoop Dogg gaining Death Row Records?
I mean, that's a plus for him. Business is business, man. He's able to go ahead and always reinvent himself. Anybody like that, man, I say that's kudos. That's good for him. You know what I mean? Death Row
Yeah.
Records is him. That's where he come from. You know.
No, that's
But I'm
real.
Ruthless
That's
Records.
real. Yes, sir. Yes,
I'm
sir.
a
Yes, sir.
diehard Ruthless fan. And
Yes,
I
sir.
got
Yes,
partners
sir.
from death row, but I'm not letting people know I'm not death row. I'm ruthless.
Yes, sir. For sure. All right. Did you and Ice Cube then really have a brawl and shit, man?
Yeah, they had a brawl. You got to look it up for those on Google. Look it up. The brawl between Code 187 and 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 Ice Cube. But I'm glad
Yeah.
people grew up. Because 187 ain't no punk. Ice Cube didn't back down. He ain't no punk. But it's good to
Yeah.
say, man, those fellas reconcile, and they doing shit together. Like Code 187 got a project out um, with Ice Cube. And Ice Cube is actually on my Dr. Kokenstein project that's coming out next year because I done a song with him called Policies on the Laugh Now and Cry Now, Laugh Later or something, Cry Now, some shit. But
Okay.
yeah, we always had that chemistry, man. I fuck with O'Shea. They kind of say we look alike a little bit, but I'm older than him.
Man, y'all damn near do, man. Y'all damn near do. Now, this question I ask everybody before I get up out of here, man. What's your top five favorite artists?
My top five favorite artists would have to go. You would have to have me on the rapping and singing, but I love definitely George Clinton in Parliament, Bootsy Collins,
Okay.
um, Luther Vandross,
Okay.
um, Prince, Michael Jackson.
All right. All right.
You know, and as far as the
Okay.
rappers is concerned, you know, Rakim, Toddy T,
Okay.
yeah, Toddy T, Nipsey Hussle, Tupac, and Biggie Small.
Okay. Okay. For sure. For sure. You got any merch or sponsors you want to represent?
Not yet. I'm coming out with a clothing line. We launch next month. But if anybody want to follow me, just make sure you follow me at KOKANE underscore OG. That's at cocaine underscore OG. That way you can keep up with the updates and the follows. And we just got a lot of shit coming out, man.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Now you did say you had a show coming up with Redman. Like, can you talk about that before you get out of here?
Man, we up here playing some dominoes before we about to go to the show. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I'm off that good little Hennessy. You know what I'm
Yes,
talking
sir.
about? We get our
Oh
head
yeah.
right,
Yeah.
then we
Yeah.
finna head up there. But
For
but
sure.
Redman is my folks, man. Redman has always been about the funk, and he always messed with West Coast cats, and we mess with him. So, it's like a homecoming, seeing all my guys. You know what I mean?
100. 100. Once again, man, I
Yes,
appreciate you
sir.
coming on the platform, man. I appreciate you accepting the invite. We finna get
That's
out of
all
here.
good.
Yeah, we finna get out of here, man. This is another episode of When I Fell in Love with Hip Hop. I'm your show host, Israel Picasso. We tuning live from St. Louis, Missouri. We out of here. Peace.
Much love. Salam alaikum.
Walaikum salam.